This is awesome. It's a spectacular morning here in the Sabi Sands, and these wild dogs are just getting active. And I'm just going to let Jamie know our exact position. I want to get her here as well. Jamie, we're on the Impala Plains clearings off Balanatis. And the reason why I'd like to get Jamie here is when these dogs start hunting, which they may have already been doing, they would have been active since just before it got light. And there was one pup there begging one of the adults to regurgitate some meat. I don't think they have been successful in hunting yet. Otherwise, we'd see a lot of blood on their faces. But what a great start this is. A lot of the adults are returning from the left of the screen. It's mainly all pups on the right, and this is a large pack of wild dogs. I think there's about 20 individuals here. 10 or 11 of which are pups. So slightly smaller than the adults. And they would have been born in around May this year. Look at this. As we arrived, they were all running around, and I thought they were actually chasing some impala as we came flying around the corner. Well, you'd be surprised to know that I can actually smell them from where we are here. And we're about 35 or 40 meters away. They've got a very distinct smell. The closest kind of analogy that I can think of would be that of a wet blanket. And I saw some of their tracks heading down the road just before we found them, but I thought they were from yesterday. The adults came onto Juma very briefly. And then headed back onto Arathusa, where some of you who were lucky enough to be on the Sunset Safari would have got a glimpse of them with Jamie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get us a little bit closer. It seems like they've all settled down now. What a great start to the safari. Can you believe it? And if anyone has just tuned in, apologies. You haven't missed anything really, but we couldn't resist going live as soon as we caught a glimpse of these animals. They are incredibly rare, and a lot of you have been seeing them far more than I have, at least. Look at all the pups all huddled up here. It's quite a cold morning as far as the South African lowveld goes at this time of the year, which is about 17 degrees Celsius and 66 degrees Fahrenheit, to give you an idea. And this is just awesome. Oh, oh, oh. The adults are all up just like that. And there they go, listen to them. Oof, now it's going to be tricky. I'm just going to stay stationary so you can enjoy one last visual of this massive pack of wild dogs heading off into the thicket. And now we will try our best to follow them. It's thick in here, and we're going to battle to stay with them. And Jamie, what is... Oh, hyena. Hyena are in here. The pups have all run, and I'm wondering if one of the adults has made a killing here. But I can hear hyenas squealing. It could be that the wild dogs have got a hold of this hyena. Yeah, they've got a hold of it. They've got it. It doesn't know what to do. There's two hyena, I think. I'm just going to move forward a little bit to get them into a better spot for them. The one on our left is the best option here. This is our best option here. Absolutely incredible.
Welcome to our very exciting sunrise safari. Never fear, although Scott doesn't have signal, I'm about 2 seconds away from his wild dogs, and as soon as he gets picture back up, we'll be across with him. Let's see if we can go and catch up with those dogs.
Welcome back, everyone. And there's just a bit of a stalemate at the moment. We're just trying to get a better position here. Here we go. It's in deep trouble. It really does need more clan members to arrive, otherwise I fear it is going to be killed. There's other hyena calling all around us. There are a few hyena in the general area. So I'm just going to start the vehicle. Hyena we didn't really want to be in. Never seen anything like this before. I've seen wild dog attack hyena. Just need to switch off and listen. I can hear Jamie approaching now, which is good news. And just like that, it's gone quiet and still, and everything's disappeared. I'm just going to get hold of Jamie on the radio. Never seen anything like this before. I've seen wild dog attack hyena. Just need to switch off and listen. I can hear Jamie approaching now, which is good news. And just like that, it's gone quiet and still, and everything's disappeared. I'm just going to get hold of Jamie on the radio. Jamie, have you got vision? Jamie, I've got the adults returning to me now. You probably heard my audio. I'm just a little bit further north of you in the block here. Jamie, I've got the adults returning to me now. You probably heard my audio. I'm just a little bit further north of you in the block here. And in terms of size, wild dog are a lot smaller than hyena, so they relied on safety in numbers, and they really did give that hyena a run for its money. Absolutely intense and phenomenal sighting that was. To be in the right place at the right time to witness something like that, we are all hugely, hugely fortunate. It was a great display of wild dogs and how ferocious they can be. They are small animals, about half the size of a hyena. But that lone hyena was very, very fortunate to escape with its life. I thought it was a goner. Calm now. signal during that whole commotion, but fear get their next quarry underway, possibly hunting impala or possibly back on the trail of those hyena. Why don't we watch that quick clip? It's as close to live as it'll get, and enjoy, and as soon as it's done you can come back to the pack and hopefully they'll be on the move again by then. And there they go, listen to them. They've got it doesn't know what to do. This tour out, otherwise I fear it is going to be killed. There's other hyena calling all around us. There are a few hyena in the general area. So I'm just going to start the vehicle. Welcome back. It was a shorter video than I expected. You've just watched. Anyway, at least you did get to see some of the action that you may have missed. And we're just looping ahead now, trying to rejoin with Jamie's also in the area now. Increases our chances of staying with them during the action. And we're going to send you across to Jamie right now.
What an incredible morning that we've experienced, and it's not even 5:15 in the morning. Look at that pile of puppies, all settled down after the excitement of the hyena encounter. Oh, I didn't see any of the action. I could just hear it happening, and all the pups were staring off. That little one who's just joined them has got quite a deep injury on her neck. I'm going to wait and see if she gets up. I don't know if it was from an encounter. Miserable though, she looks okay. We're just comforting each other and keeping each other warm after all of the drama of the morning. Oh, got a bit of a fright. I heard the birds. I think they can also hear another vehicle approaching. What an incredible morning. This is such a fantastically exciting creature. Always busy, always doing something. I've got 9 of the pups in. That could be that the other 2 followed the adults. Then, as far as I know, the sightings that we've had have been quite confusing, so hopefully we'll be able to get a count in the next few hours spent with them. But as far as I can tell, there are 10 adults and 11 pups, bringing the total up to 21. That is my count from yesterday afternoon when we spent a bit of time with them on Arathusa, but it still remains unconfirmed. I'm trying to get to afternoon when we spent a bit of time with them on Arathusa, but it still remains unconfirmed. I'm trying to get to differentiate between the sexes of the adults, figure out which ones are sub-adults, and then get an accurate count on the pups. But that is what I think is happening. And since we're talking about the adults, Scott is still with them, so let's head across to him.
Go and have a closer look for that any sign of that hyena, but no luck. And now they're returning to the area of where all the pups are. We just got a question through from Jessica. Good morning and welcome. She'd like to know a little bit more as to why these wild dogs would have attacked the hyena. Carnivores in Africa will attack and kill one another when the opportunity arises. Now, reason for that is mainly competition for food, but also that hyena would have also posed threats to these pups. So lion are kind of at the top of the predator food chain, and everything else below it. And then it depends on numbers to a degree. Even lion, when they're alone, could be outmatched by a pack of wild dog or a clan of hyena. In this case, the wild dog were heavily outnumbering the hyena, and that's why it got into trouble. So it's something that says leopard will kill cheetah, lion will kill both leopard and cheetah when they get the chance. So just one of those things that happens in nature. It is hard to watch and is hard to kind of understand, but competition is fierce out here, and predators don't tend to get along with one another. I'm just going to stop here for a second so you can get to see Jamie and those pups all playing around her vehicle. She's been having a great time there. And look at this. Absolutely spectacular way to start the day. She's got Tebs on camera. Well, and we're going to hop you onto her. Well, and we're going to hop you onto her vehicle so you can get to see the perspective from there.
Scott's on the move again, and we're sitting with the stragglers of the pack. Playing a serious game of chase and catch, and I guess tag is what you'd call it. A couple of lazy pups behind. Hurry up, guys. Everybody's leaving. Off you go. Yes, well done. We're going to lose visual of them in a moment, but Scott should still have them. I just didn't want to turn on the engine with too many pups too close to me. All right, Scott's ready to show you the dogs. Let's head across to him.
Welcome back, everyone, and these little pups are overtaking us at a rate of knots here from both sides of the vehicle, trying to keep up with their parents. I just shot ahead of them in the hope that I could stay with the parents. Look at this. This is incredible. And so it's all the pups now that we're following at the back, heading straight east towards the rising sun. You'll notice that beautiful bright orange glow ahead of us. And aren't they just the most exciting animals to follow? Non-stop action, high energy. And Pretty Nightmare is just inquiring as to whether we saw any major damage on that hyena. And to be honest, I couldn't see any major wounds, but everything was happening so quickly it would be hard to tell for sure. And I'm sure what we'll be able to do is look through some of the clips. That's been the camera because there was bad signal a lot of the time. And that may well provide us more evidence, Pretty Nightmare, as to how badly that hyena was injured. Now, what is going to happen, it's inevitable, is these adults are going to keep moving until they find some potential prey. And when that happens, I must warn you in advance that you need to hold on very tightly. We're going to be driving at extremely high speeds in order to try and stay with the action. And it's the only way to stay with the action. They move incredibly quickly. news is they are heading straight into Juma. And the initial cackling you heard is quite a strange noise as all the pups got active for the first time, and Anna Marie likened it to birds chirping. A strange noise, actually, one that you wouldn't really expect to hear from dogs. And you're right, well observed and well pointed out. There's just been so much going on this morning, it's been hard to discuss and break down all of the action. These wild dogs continue heading in the direction that they are bound to flush some kind of prey. And they are one of the most successful of all the predators when it comes to strike rates. Because of their immense speed and their stamina, they have got a high tendency of being able to bring down whatever it is that they start chasing. In advance, if we are lucky enough to be in the right position to see them actually bring down a prey or arrive there seconds after they have brought it down, they don't have the most effective method of killing their prey. Well, let me rephrase that. Maybe it is very effective, but they don't strangle their prey. They'll merely start ripping it to pieces. And this is something characteristic of wild dogs. They are ferocious feeders, and once their prey is brought to the ground, all members of the pack will start tearing into it. Just going to try and loop ahead of them here. Sandy in Indiana's just pointed fastest way of getting around being on a road. And as soon as you come off-road, they tend to leave you in a cloud of dust behind them in a short space of time. Just going to let Jamie know that I've gone into the gear. Jamie, I'm in the block now following them. I don't know if you want to stay on fins and get down to the dip. They are all off just to our right here. Just going to keep giving Jamie updates. Jamie, they're still north of the drainage line, heading straight east. So keep heading down Philemon's line, and then I'll give you an update. Let me know when you get to Finn's Junction. Like I said, everyone, please remember to hold on tight, because this is going to turn into a little bit of a rodeo, potentially. Marcia, who's wondering if all of these pups are brothers and sisters from the same litter, or whether in fact they are cousins. And as far as I'm aware, this pack is consisting of offspring from 2 females, the alpha female and the beta female. Oh wow, look at this. Just up here at 11 o'clock there, Vian. It's all happening here. This giraffe's got nothing to worry about. And off to our right, there's a few more with the beautiful sun, Vian. Oh, it's all happening. It's all happening. I'm just going to creep forward ever so slightly to try and get Vian a better angle. That might work. Magical early morning sunlight with these giraffe. They're looking intently towards the wild dog, which are running past them. And as much as this is a beautiful shot, we are going to have to keep moving, otherwise the dogs are going to leave us behind. Morning, giraffe. Sorry to not give you much attention. There's also elephant here. Can you believe it? And the elephants are chasing the wild dog. Let me see if I can get you an angle here. I think Jamie's vehicle might have a slightly better view, but you can hear one very unhappy elephant. Jamie is down there. So I thought Jamie was close by. She mentioned that there was some elephant where she was waiting, but this is obviously a different one. Just stand by. I'll keep you updated. They're just crossing over things now. I think it might be best to get around quarantine, but stand by. So it's a very, very thick block, and there's no way of us staying with them through there. Not no ways, but tricky ways. No, let me stay here. There's a few more members of the pack up ahead here. I'm fairly confident they are going to pop out on the quarantine clearings, and if they do, there's guaranteed game for them to chase there. But we are going to get a few more views of the stragglers of the pack, mainly the pups. Oh no, this elephant's still chasing. There's an elephant shivering on the left that you'll clearly be able to hear, and it has just popped into frame. It is behind some thick bush there. You can just see its tusks sticking out. And let's hope that we don't get any displaced aggression, which basically means when one animal is frustrated due to another one's presence, it may take it out on us. Can you believe how loud that trumpeting is? Let's see, you should be able to get another view here of its funny tail getting held up, and that's a great feature to look for. When an elephant's upset, it may not need to be trumpeting, but it'll hold its tail up like that, like some kind of a magic wand. And you'll probably find the wild dogs are teasing it and playing around with it a little bit. I can still see a few dogs running around in this little riverbed below us. I'm confident though they are going to pop out on quarantine clearings, which is just up to our left in the same direction where you were watching that elephant. And the good news is it sounds like
the dogs have popped out here. One of them's heading back towards the pups. And I think they're going to be heading in our direction soon. That was the only one that we'd seen apart from one that shot across the road. Let's see if we can get them up here. We'll come coming back down in this direction. They're gonna come out the side. Oh, that's Scott's been having an amazing experience with the elephants and the pups. I can hear the elephants shouting away. One of the dogs raced across in front of us. I'm not sure exactly where he disappeared off to. It might be worth doing a loop and turning back around. I think I'm going to turn around. Let's check around here. You going that side, F? Okay. You still hear the elephants shouting, which means the dogs are still in the vicinity. We'll move back down this way.
I'll come back. Jamie's just a little bit ahead of us. I'm going to keep updating her. Jamie, most of the pack and pups are looking to head down Ingwe Alley, just to let you know. You can still hear the elephant displaying his displeasure. What a wonderful morning. Want to go, and you know what's not unlikely? They could very well take us to a leopard, so be ready for that. We'll see a glimmer of spots rocketing up a tree, trying to spider webs everywhere. And the good news is, it looks like they are heading north, the direction we wanted them to head in, which is going to lead them up towards the Djuma waterhole. So whoever the Zumi is today, be prepared for some action. There's a strong chance they could head up there. And the reason why I want them to head up there is there's generally a decent amount of general game in that direction. Ideal prey for these sized animals would be impala-sized prey, but they're happy to take down slightly smaller prey than that, as well as slightly larger. And in the next month or so, as soon as the impala start giving birth, impala lambs will be the meal of the day. And this pack would be able to kill 5 to 10 young impala in one sitting. So, as wonderful as they are as animals, you need to prepare yourselves, if we're lucky enough, for some carnage in the coming months when they start hunting. Well, I'm enjoying Paul Rizzo's optimism this morning. He thinks that there's a very strong chance that they are going to latch onto some prey this morning. And It's something that we so infrequently get to see that I am certainly a fan of seeing that kind of action. I know a lot of you may not be, but we can't hide from the fact that these animals do need to eat meat to survive, and it's not our job to feed them. So they're going to have to acquire food on their own, and as long as we're around to watch it, I'm going to be a very happy lad. Checking our antenna's still up after all this bouncing around. So we're on Ingwe Alley now, a road that VM and I discovered together, and we are approaching Twin Dams Road. So I'm sure Jamie could well be there to meet us. She's done a big loop around, probably at breakneck speed. But I'm told she's been stopped by a herd of elephants. Prevented her getting to where she wants to go. What's this individual seen or heard? Look at those massive ears. Mainly used to relocate other pack members. We're going to send you over to Jamie now.
Racing around to get to the other side of the wild dogs, and there one is. Here's one of our elephants. Oh, she's cross. And the dog wants to get past the rest of the pack, but she's not going to let him. Look at her bouncing. Oh, dashing away. She really wants to get past the rest of the pack. This is our elephant with the snared trunk. We know her well. We've met her before. She certainly isn't going to let me get past. Oh. To dashing around the back of her, I think, to try and get round to where the rest of the pack is. I've never seen wild dogs bounce up like that before. This is just such an amazing sighting. I'm going to shift forward a bit, see if there's more of them. Oh, here we go. Here comes him. And here come the dogs again. The elephant's watching them very carefully. All right, let's head across and see what Scott's seeing.
Can you believe all of this action, everyone? This is the trunkless elephant. Not trunkless, but short-trunked elephant that I'm sure you may have seen before. And she is displaying a lot of aggression towards these wild dogs, as she should be. Holding her head up high, great posture. And elephants will act the same way to humans when they're uncomfortable. You may see a tail being cocked to the side, just like the other elephant was. And, well, the youngster's having a go to the left. I wonder when last these elephants saw a pack of wild dogs. This small herd is very characteristic. She's got a very short trunk, and she always moves just with her two offspring. One which you can see on the left, and another one which is coming into frame on the right. They very seldomly are with a large breeding herd, and look at how they're all huddling together here. This is remarkable. Making sure that they are entirely safe. The wild dogs are all kind of behind us at the moment, slinking off to the right, cleverly using our vehicle as a little barricade, I guess, to prevent the elephants from seeing them. But they won't be concerned for the elephants. They'll know that they are far quicker than elephants, and to worry about here. What an incredible morning it's been. Now the tricky thing is that, oh, they've had enough now. They've decided to team up and come charging. And the wild dog certainly didn't hang around. And as you can see, they've all disappeared. One or two glimpses of them running off in the background. them. If you just go for the stalemate, if you try and pan to the right, you may get view of one more just in front of the cow there. One of the pups. There it goes. Wonderful. Still quite a few pups behind us. I'm just going to reposition the vehicle and see if we can't get you some more shots of these elephants chasing them, which we should be able to. There we go. There go the dogs scattering off in the distance. With the elephants chasing after them. Tails up, trumpeting. Oh, wonderful stuff. Well, it doesn't get much better than this, everyone, and I hope you're spreading the word. If you haven't told a friend to tune into SafariLive, best you do it now, because mornings like this don't come along very often, and we should be trying to share this with as many people as possible. So spread the word. Get on your phones, phone your friends. The action is not over. And a comment through from Lynn confirms that. She says this is why she watches SafariLive. This sighting is absolutely priceless. And it looks like the pups are going to come charging past in front of us. They've done a big loop around and avoided the elephants. It's not too difficult for a dog, an animal of the wild dog's agility, but here they come now. They should pop into view very shortly. And they'll be trying to relocate with the rest of the pack, I think. Jamie's keeping an eye on the rest of the pack, and we'll stay with these ones. Oh. No, the adults are still all around us here. I think they could be chasing some potential prey. I think they are. I think they're chasing something. Yep, they're chasing prey. Yep, they're chasing an impala.
They're chasing impala, sorry, not impala, Nyala through into this block. We've lost them in the thick stuff. They're racing around. Tapes, we're live. All right, here they go. There's one racing around them. A couple of them all running around. They dashed in there to get the Nyala. Just going to try and see if we can get a glimpse of where they've gone. They're disappearing into this thick drainage line around Nyala Road, or around Ingwe Alley. We won't be able to get the vehicle in there, unfortunately, but I don't think they were lucky. Let's do a loop around. These wild dog hunts happen so quickly. It's unbelievable. I'm trying to get hold of Scott on the Game Yard channel. Now Scott, I've lost visual of them. They went in towards the drainage line between Ingwe Alley and Pack. Let's see if we can regroup and find them on the other side. This has been such an incredible morning. How amazing was that elephant behavior? Forming that defensive formation, and then the mother leading the charge to chase the wild dogs away. If there's one thing I've learned over the last 2 days, it's that elephants really don't appreciate the presence of dogs around them. Smiles for Rafi. Smiles, you were saying, you could see the stress coming down the temporal glands. And absolutely, it's obviously a very base instinct within them to respond to the smell and the sight of the dogs in the way that they do. A couple of the dogs shot off in this direction. Most of them went that way after the Nyala. We've just got to see if we can relocate them. These chases happen so quickly, and as you can see as we're driving through, Ephraim's just calling me. He said he's got them. There they go. Here they come. Here they come. Hello, puppies. Hello, puppies. Awesome. Oh, one of them's got a sore foot. Hello, how gorgeous. Wow. And Vicky, I'm thrilled to hear that this is the most wonderful action you've seen in the 2 years you've been watching. Oh, look at that affection between them. It is absolutely incredible. There is nothing like wild dogs for the action that we have. And I'm sitting, staring at them. There's one that's walked. I could have touched him as he walked beside the car. Oh, and they're lying down now. How wonderful is this? Touching noses. Wow. There is, get your adrenaline pumping, like following behind wild dogs. It's incredible. Ria, we've had the most incredible wild dog sightings over the last few days, and you were wondering if they're around more now because of a lack of lions. And I think we're seeing them more because the pups have left the den, and the wild dogs are really starting to do what typical wild dogs do, which is roam far and wide together. They need huge areas. They take up huge amounts of space. Oops, sorry. We can see the pups all looking together. We've also had lots of lions in this area. Yesterday they were probably about a kilometre, if that, away from the Birminghams. And we had the other wild dog pack, the Investec pack, around Buffelshoek Dam at the same time that the Salalas were moving through this area. It's not really related to lion density, although lions do play an incredible role in their lives. If you have too many lions, the wild dog population does suffer. Oh, somebody's got an itch it can't quite reach. I'm trying to find that one pup with the gash on its neck. Okay, good. They've settled down. Looks like they're content to wait until Mom, Dad, and the rest of the pack have come back again. I'm going to shuffle forward ever so slightly. I'm not going to go too close because I don't want to risk disturbing them. Now what we do see here, it's something that Barbara's pointed out, and I've noticed as well. I can't actually get any closer. We'll stop here. We'll just have a look at the pile of sniffing puppies. I'll duck my head down so that we can see them. Now, Barbara, you mentioned that some of these pups look far too young to be running with a pack. One thing I have noticed is we've got two, I'm not sure about the ages, but it looks as though we've got two different ages. And that makes sense because this is the Sam's half-tail pack, and we had a really rare situation here, or it's not unheard of, but it is unusual, where both the alpha and the beta female had a litter of pups. And you'll probably find that they had them at slightly different times, which means that we've got two different ages. It could also be the fact that the alpha female, now quite often when that happens, the alpha female kills the pups of the beta female, but in this case she didn't. But what you might find is that the female's pups were also favored in terms of access to food. So they perfected the begging technique, and the alpha made sure that they got the best of the food that was then regurgitated for them. And that's what wild dogs do. Hello. What are you looking at? Oh, there's a pup behind us. It's all right, little one. You can come past. You can come through. You can come through. Wants to make his way back to his buddies, but also wants to follow behind Mom and Dad and can't quite decide. Whoops. Lucy, you've raised a really interesting question. You've actually voiced the thought that was on my mind. Over the last few weeks, we've had some incredible moments with the other pack, the Investec pack that has 11 pups and 3 adults. And they've been pretty much around this area. You're wondering what happens if they came into contact with each other. And I think there would be a lot of noise and a lot of bluster between the two packs. The Sands pack, this half-tail pack, quite clearly outnumber them in a big way. And I think there would be a bit of growling, a bit of hackles raised, and then the packs would go their separate. I haven't heard of serious, for the most part, wild dogs tend to be quite a non-conflict animal as a species. We've seen them sort their issues out by begging and being submissive. And I think the same would apply. The packs would bristle at each other and then go their separate ways. I hope that would be the case. Could be a situation where the adults would aim to kill the pups of the other pack, but I don't think so. I must look into it a little bit more as well. Aaron, you want to do this I do, which is get an accurate head count. Unfortunately, accurate head counts during these sightings are so difficult. I'm going to try. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, my word, there's a pile of puppies there that I can't distinguish one from the other. Might have to wait for a moment. I just see ears and fur, and I'm not entirely sure where one pup begins and one pup ends. And there is one lurking behind us. Tabs, has it gone to sleep back there? Is it just lying down? We have a puppy lying behind underneath our car, fast asleep. Decided that that's where it wants to be, which is absolutely adorable. I can't see it, but I do know that it is there. And the rest of the pups all curled together in one big bundle. But when we get them on the move again, hopefully in a block that isn't quite so thick, maybe they'll head up to quarantine or around Juma Dam, and we'll be able to get a slightly more accurate head count. Still listening to hear what happened with the adults in that Nyala. They chased about 3 of them into the block, and with 10 fair-sized adults, there is a good chance that they caught one of them. I just can't hear anything. Now, regular viewers will know that if the adults do catch it, they devour those carcasses in the space of... Oh, hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry, I was just listening to an update from Scott. Seems as though he's picked up on the adults moving towards us, so they're coming back again towards the pups, which is brilliant. So it doesn't seem as though they caught that Inyala, but they are coming back towards us now. I was in the middle of saying something and I got distracted by that thought. Oh yes, if they had caught the Inyala, they would have devoured it. Oh, puppy calling. Can you hear that? I'm just going to wait. They might do it again. There they go. All the puppies are up. They're calling for their parents. Is that pup still behind me? No. Are we good? Okay. Last thing I want to do is move the car and there's a puppy behind me. They go, ooh. Hello, pups. Hello, pups, don't go this way. Your parents aren't this way. Scott says your parents are further away. But they're coming to you. You must wait. We have to stop here. There's one pup right in the corner. Oh, there we go. There's an adult. Do you hear all of that noise? The greeting yelps between them. So excited to see either mommy or daddy. Back behind us. Here's the adult that was greeted with such enthusiasm. They're racing off into the block there. Going down into the drainage line around Milwaukee. Okay, hold on everybody, we're going to try and get there. It's moving very fast. Try and find a way in here. I'm not sure if Scott still has a visual of the adults. In here. So we get hold of Scott. Scott, most of the Shlami have gone into the Milwaukee. I'm going to try and pull out. Try and do. Okay, everybody look for a way into the drainage line. This could be interesting. Watch your heads. Watch everything. We're going on an adventure. The wild dogs are leading us on an adventure. Okay, whoa. That's a little bit steep to go adventuring on. Let's just stop and listen for a moment. See if I can hear them. They were coming in this direction. I think I can hear Scott coming through. I can see Scott going through. Hopefully he's going to catch up with them soon. Oh, Scott, they should pop out somewhere where you are approaching now. All right, let's loop around. We can't, unfortunately, get down into the drainage line from here, but Scott has gone zooming through the drainage line. Whoop. Tree. Watch it. I nearly took out our friendly director, Jerry, which I would be loath to do. How amazing has this been? Just almost total chaos. I'm actually going to head back towards the road, just in case they do a wild dog thing of looping back, because they have been going backwards and forwards the whole time. Respond to us on foot if they were ever confronted by a human. Confronted versus seeing are two different things. They're actually quite comfortable with people on foot. Copy that, thanks Scott. I'm going to go that way. Okay, they've crossed the drainage line, guys. We've got to go the other way. Sorry, Bob. I will be with you in a moment. Wild dogs are keeping us on our toes. Alright, so on foot, these packs are actually quite comfortable with people. They've been tracked multiple times on foot before. And I've seen them be very relaxed with people around. That being said, of course, you've always got to respect their personal space. If I were to confront if I ran at them shouting or jumping up and down, they would run away very, very quickly. Everybody hold on, there's a bump. So in terms of human-dog interaction, I don't think there's ever been a recorded case of dogs killing people, but I could be wrong. If that does happen, it's a very, very unlikely situation. We are not on their menu in any way, shape or form. We are a threat, and for the last couple of thousand years we hunted them, and almost to the point of extinction. It's only now in the last few decades that we as a species have got our act together in that